making her way into centre ring at the moment is Raylene Anderson from the Thunderkick Gymnasium, set to square off against Renee Darker. This should be an interesting contest indeed. Mark the Hammer Castanini, two very experienced and well-matched fighters.
Certainly correct, Michael. Renee Anderson and Renee Darker, both experienced women in the ring, and women's kickboxing is something that's taken the country by storm, with a lot more women training at the moment, and these girls will certainly be well equipped, and technically you're in for a surprise, because they're going to move around quite well, and they're going to show some of the guys how it's done.
And to the familiar kickboxing anthem of O Fortuna, Renee Darker makes her way to centre ring, being accompanied by one of the living legends of Australian kickboxing, the longest serving kickboxer, in fact, in Australian history, Machine Gun Charlie Arnautovic.
Machine Gun Charlie is certainly a legend of Australian kickboxing, known throughout the nation, and you can bet that Renee Darker is going to be well prepared, sparring the likes of Charlie. He's certainly one of the better boxers in the sport, and he's going to be moving around. He would have been moving around with her and done a lot of handiwork, so we're certainly in for something special here.
Machine Gun Charlie, of course, the only man to ever win, I think it was 5 Australian kickboxing titles, and one of the absolute legends of the sport, and you can bet that he's prepared Renee Darker an absolute treat to meet Raylene Anderson here in centre ring tonight.
Hands up.
Round 1.
As we get underway in our third fight of the night, a women's fight between Raylene Anderson and Renee Darker, both of them nicknamed Sugar, and there should be something very special indeed. The emergence of late of women's fighting, ring sports, boxing and kickboxing really taking the world by storm, and the media really hyping up women's fighting. We see a lot of spreads in such magazines as International Kickboxer, Blitz magazine, even Inside Sport have lately done huge articles on women's fighting. And at the moment it's Raylene Anderson in the white and maroon striped trunks going to work against Renee Darker. Showing some superb boxing skills at the moment, both ladies. Raylene has her hands very high, goes downstairs with an outside leg kick. Another outside leg kick to the lead leg of Renee Darker. Renee whips one up, right round kick it was up high, but just caught on the gloves there by Raylene.
Raylene Anderson holding her hands up just a little too high, leaving her ribs and her midsection very exposed there. And Renee Darker would do well to pick up on that and possibly put in some nicely timed round kicks. They'll certainly score well for her.
Renee, of course, with a good height and reach advantage. We saw her last fight in Sunshine. She used that to great effect. And she can put that to work here again against Raylene Anderson tonight. One of Darker's favourite weapons is the front kick. And there's a nice low leg kick again by Raylene Anderson. Darker moving with the hands, and the referee there to break both women up. A good even fight so far, and those hands are very high of Raylene Anderson. She'll have to be careful she doesn't cop a nice front kick or a straight right to the midsection.
That's right, Michael. We'll see the girls very tentative at this stage, just very aware of each other, not really going at it. They could probably go at it a little bit harder and put a little bit more sting behind the punches and kicks.
Mark the Hammer between the rounds. Nick Talakouris will be giving his girls some instruction. Let's go to the replay.
Here we see the replay. See the girls moving around. There was Renee just chasing Raylene and catching her with that left hook just on the break. It was nicely timed, but just missed the button. And if one of those hooks gets through, it can certainly stop a fight prematurely.
VDS Appliances. Jason Scanlon.
Let's rock and roll the second round of action of our women's event between Raylene Anderson and Renee Darker. And there's Renee popping her with a nice right hand to the side of the jaw. Raylene follows straight in with some low leg kicks, backing her into the neutral corner. The women have exploded here in the second round.
They've certainly started with a bit more fire in this second round, Michael. There we see Raylene going for the legs, and she's opting to do that. Coming from the Thunderleg stable, you'd expect the Thunderleg fighters to be throwing the big kicks. Renee Darker, on the other hand, her work with the legend Machine Gun Charlie is certainly showing that she's favouring her hands.
Comments from the Australian champion Mark the Hammer Castanini as Raylene Anderson goes low with those leg kicks, well checked by Renee. fires in the right hand. The southpaw Renee Darker. Inside leg kick by Raylene Anderson. And you can see the lead leg of Renee Darker reddening up quite a bit at the moment. She's taking a few of those leg kicks. There's another one. Nice front kick it was by Raylene, finding the target on the midsection. Renee comes back with the nice right hand. Fantastic second round at the moment of femme fighting action here from the Knox Netball Complex in Melbourne's eastern suburbs. Inside leg kick again by Raylene. Raylene will have to be careful dropping her head. She could cop a nice uppercut there from Renee and it will be lights out, Mark.
She certainly can, Michael, and Raylene, as I said, she should be guarding up her body a bit more, but Renee hasn't picked up on that yet, and she's going to want to try and just put in some more of those kicks. Renee Darko is choosing not to get her kicks up. She's going for the legs as well, and they score you quite well. At this stage, I'd say Raylene Anderson is just peppering away at those legs and putting her scorecard up. Oh, a lovely left hook there by Renee Darko.
Left hook really will take the starch right out of you. Raylene trying to line up the inside leg at the end of the second round of action. Mark the Hammer a bit more heated up in that round for the women.
They picked the pace up a little bit more in that round, Michael. Yes, that's correct. Renee Darker is something interesting I just picked up there. She does change, so she'll go from orthodox to southpaw, and that could possibly be confusing Raylene Anderson. But, at this stage, fairly even contest, depending on how the judges are scoring it. If they're scoring the leg kicks or the kicks higher than the punches, I'd have to say that Renee Darker would just be ahead. Raylene Anderson would just be ahead. Here we see the girls working with each other. She just dropped her head a bit low. She's got to keep her head up. They've both got to pick the pace up and just get a little bit lighter on their feet. The one who does that in the third round possibly take the points here.
I'm going to get behind Sugar Ray Anderson and Sugar Renee Darker. Charlie Taylor.
Third and final round of action. A good even fight so far. Both women come out firing out the leather. Raylene Anderson trying to line up that inside leg kick. There was a whipping left round kick by Renee Darker. Tied up in the centre of the ring. Referee there to break up both women. Left hook by Raylene, didn't quite find the mark. Renee remaining quite agile on her feet, lines up the right round kick, followed by the left, and Raylene goes downstairs. Just chopping away at those outside leg kicks, they'll take the starch right out of you, moves in with the hand combinations, now on Renee Darker. And Raylene Anderson looking aggressive in this, the third and final round. This is where they have to pick up the pace and really drive it home, because it looks like this one could go all the way and go to the judge's decision. Another whipping left round kick by Renee, switches stance again and drives the inside kick. No doubt, as you said, between rounds, Mark the Hammer, that would be confusing Raylene Anderson.
It certainly would, Michael, and Raylene Anderson just has to watch, turning her back on Renee Darko as she did earlier in the round there. She just threw a punch and whipped herself right around. You can get caught if you do that type of thing.
Couple of nice right hooks there by Raylene. I should say Renee. Raylene moving in with the leg kick. Not enough mustard behind it to upset Renee Darker. There's another leg kick to the outside right thigh.
Don't hold, come on.
And Renee decides to mix it upstairs. For a lady of her height and reach, I feel she should be using her front kick to greater advantage. And there it is, the front kick off the lead leg by Renee Darker. Tries to get the left hook. Didn't find the jaw that she was looking for.
Renee Darker certainly switching from orthodox to southpaw, and that will certainly be confusing Raylene Anderson, not making the job any easier.
End of the third and final round of action. This one's gone down to the wire. It's gone down to the judge's decision. Mark the Hammer Castanini, how did you see that one?
You can go either way, Michael, and the draw wouldn't totally be out of the question here either. I'd have to say, if you were scoring the low kicks, I'd have to give it to Raylene Anderson. Here we see Raylene, there's that low kick I was talking of, and Renee Darker preferring to go the hand techniques, but Raylene Anderson certainly busier with the legs, and this is of course kickboxing, so the judges are obliged to score those kicks a little higher than the hand techniques of the conventional boxing.
Well, this one's gone down to our judges. They will make the decision as to who the winner will be. Let's go to our ring announcer, Howard Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, our three judges are in unanimity. The winner from the red corner, Renee Darker.
Well, Mark the Hammer Castellini, an interesting decision. Renee Darker getting the nod unanimously from the three judges.
That's right, Michael. I'd say the judges would have scored the aggression of Renee Darker highly, because she was the one who was predominantly on the attack, but geez, I wouldn't have liked to have separated those two. It was a very even fight, and these girls gained experience from this bout. They're going to take on the likes of Holly Fernley, Rebecca Russell,
Mandy Buchanan, all the
Amanda
likes.
Buchanan,
Australia's greats.
all the great lady fighters. They're certainly going to have to get back into the gym, work hard, and we'll see them back in centre ring very shortly.